What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano, as well as the S&P 500. Guys, get ready. We're literally moments away from breaking through our major resistance level at the tops of pretty much every single cryptocurrency. It's been quite a bit of consolidation. Yesterday, we put out some very good trades on the 1 hourly chart for Bitcoin. And then a day before, we made a really good trade on the 4 hourly chart. And now we're starting to retest the resistance level on the daily for Bitcoin, but this goes even farther than that. Not only are we seeing retests of Bitcoin, we're seeing it retest on XRP, on Ethereum. We're also seeing retests on Cardano. This is very big, and we have the potential of actually closing through $50,000 on Bitcoin, which is a huge signal for a major pump to come, which is huge buying opportunities for the long term. So very exciting. Lots of things we have to cover. Otherwise, guys, if you haven't already, definitely make sure to enter the crypto coin display giveaway. All you have to do to win one of these XRP ticker displays is just comment your favorite cryptocurrency down below, as well as comment subscribed. Do those two things as I will be checking, and if you're not subscribed, you will not win. I also want to give a huge shout out to the Cube for sponsoring today's episode. So for those that are bored bouncing around all different exchanges to get pretty much one thing they like from each one, the Cube might actually have a solution for that and actually compile it all together. So stick around to the end of today's episode for more information about the Cube. Otherwise, guys, let's jump into today's episode. All right, guys, as you can see, top 10 cryptocurrencies are at $2.2 trillion, up 4.43%. You can see overall top 10, everything is doing phenomenal right now. We're starting to see Bitcoin, pretty much everything on the 7-day average is up about 20%. But over the course of the top 10 cryptos, you can see 5%, 3, 5, 2, 1.9, 3.3, 11.9 for Doge. Things are looking extremely well for all these cryptocurrencies. As you guys can see, just diving right in, I guess we'll start with XRP right now, and then we'll talk about Bitcoin, which we covered mainly yesterday. So well, let me just flash through all these cryptocurrencies. We have XRP right here. We have Ethereum right here retesting top resistance. We're talking about Bitcoin right here retesting its top resistance, and I want to show you guys that in a minute. I do want to talk about Cardano, but I might want to save it for a later video today, so we'll have to see how that goes. So I'm not going to talk about it right just yet, but you can see for XRP right now, we are retesting this top resistance level, and you can see how vital and important this is. We've been talking about this for actually quite some time now. You can see overall top 10 cryptos. You can see overall how we've pretty much just been sideways trading, battling this resistance for quite some time now, using it as a means of resistance. Then it was a support, then it was a support again, then resistance again, then supports for this major consolidation right here, and then we have major resistance again. So there's a lot of consistency with battling this resistance level and how extremely important it is to actually break through that and start to head to the upside or the downside. So this is pretty much critical for its time here, and you can see when we jump into like the 4-hour charts here, you can see kind of the patterns and the formations that it's forming. You can see for the most part, which I'm actually going to change in a second, but we had a smaller ascending triangle here, which actually broke bearish and fell back down to not only it actually fell back down to its moving average right here, which did just cross bullish on the 4-hour chart, which is a very good sign. Now we can, and I wanted to do this with you guys, actually change this support level, make it slightly bigger. I also want to check out the hourly to see if this is revealing something even bigger here. No, not entirely, but I wanted to show you this uptrend, which is actually holding suit fairly well. It's actually following the hourly moving average here, and you can see on the 4-hour, it's following the 4-hour moving average where we bounced off that to start to retest to the upside. You can see the uptrend, the bigger ascending triangle that's starting to form here, and ideally what we're looking for is a breach above this neckline here, the price ceiling, which would allow us to gain some support above. You can see all the resistance right here. This is ideal. So what we've been waiting for with XRP, which has been quite a long time of consolidation. Yes, we did slightly miss out on this very small resistance run to the upside here, this small breakout, which was very tiny. I didn't say it, but it's almost acknowledged that once we can confirm breaking through this bearish, cycle here, we were anticipating it to retest all the way down at bottom support here at point C. You can see on this uptrend here, we were retesting and expecting to see prices fall back to bottom support here, then break up. It actually broke up a little bit earlier, but the second we see confirmation of breaching through our downtrend here, it's goes without saying that we're going to be breaking bullish here, and that's what's anticipated. But right now we're waiting for this movement right here. Obviously we have to play both the devil's advocate if we break bearish or bullish, but right now we can anticipate that if we break bullish to the upside here, we're going to expect to see a price range jump of about an 18% movement on XRP, which is huge, guys. This is a huge movement. I can move this right here and you can see kind of what we're expecting. This would shoot us up to about $1.20, 22 cents. This would be a big jump originally, and it could soar us all the way up to honestly $1.30. You can see where we've retested that in the past. And then what we're looking for to see all-time highs within XRP is to actually break through our $1.30 resistance, which will probably consolidate in here for quite some time, and then shoot up to all-time highs. That's the ideal movement here. But you can see the consolidation that's happening right now. We have only a few hours left within this 4-hour chart, so maybe for a 12, maybe honestly the rest of today, about 12 hours left of consolidation to fill this in, at the most 12 hours. I'd say by the end of the day, we'll see kind of the direction of which movement we want to go to. The second we can confirm breaking through this top resistance here on XRP, we're going to buy in for a long. Now understand that we're expecting to see a pretty wide or a long-term long position here. So what I would do on XRP, or what I'm going to be doing on XRP, is when we buy in, breaking through that top resistance, I'm going to put a market leverage to the upside in a long position, but I'm not going to do anything over about 10x, if not 10x might be fairly aggressive here, but that's what I'm going to do. Put in a 10x trade, margin long about $1,000, and then buy long on BitYard, which I did link in the description down below. That's how we're going to make our money off of XRP. You can see everything is boiling to this point. It's a major resistance level that we've been tracking for so freaking long now, and I'm getting very excited to see that we are finally so close to capping through this and breaking bullish to the upside here at a big 20% jump. We haven't even seen it yet, so very excited with that. Now this also applies itself to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, if we jump to the hourly here, you can see what we've been tracking for quite some time now. You can see how we've been tracking the mouth of this symmetrical triangle, this bigger symmetrical triangle that broke extremely bullish, which we were anticipating. Broke a little earlier than we had expected, but nonetheless, the second we saw confirmation of closing above our hourly downtrend here, once we confirmed breaking through there, which you can see we had quite a bit of issues with the past 2 hours, but the following one actually closed beautifully above our downtrend here. That's when we bought in leverage to the upside. And you can see it went very well. The first original jump was about 3.20, 3.2, which took us the same, exactly on point. Like, look at how perfect this was. The mouth of the opening is the price that we traveled. Then we created a much smaller wedge here. You can see a much smaller ascending fractal. These usually tend to break bearish, but sometimes, they do the opposite. You can see on the hourly, the ascending triangle went up about 1.78%, and we're currently, this happened overnight, up about, not necessarily 1.78. I just want to compare this once again for you guys for Bitcoin. Yeah, this is about accurate. You can see for right now, we're not necessarily at our peak. We got very close, but it's very short term. Understand this hourly chart is very, very, very aggressive. It's very quick. You want to be in it and out with little, volatility. You could use some leverage trading. You could leverage and margin it fairly high, but you're going to be, you have to be monitoring this. You have to sit and do this for a couple of hours and just sit here. You can't walk away from the computer. So this is a big trade. We did break out. We didn't actually sell our positions. We've just been moving our stop loss, but with this small correction here, we got very close. Stop loss is at this top resistance right here at 49K. What ideally we're waiting for within Bitcoin is not necessarily playing this on the very short term, the hourly or the 4-hour. What we're looking for right now is the daily. This is the biggest thing here. Now, I want to show you guys the weekly charts and kind of give you guys a reference here. I was looking at this weekly chart with the impression that we could definitely move the resistance lower, kind of using the weekly indicators here, just like this, which honestly really isn't that bad. I still think we might be able to, but the only reason I'm not is because, well, you could still use it. It's not that important here. Like if we drop this like this, you have to then move the points a little bit higher. So it'd have to literally be something along the lines of like this. This is what we'd be looking at. Let's see how that plays out on the daily. Just want to make sure everything is in line with us. You can see how that kind of cuts through the bottom supports a little bit here. Now it would be something along the lines of this. That's ideally what we're looking for. This would be the support. It literally retests everything except this top point right here, which really isn't that big of a deal. So having it drawn on the top isn't necessarily that bad, but that was looking at things on the weekly, which play out a little more important than the daily here, but the daily does work, and this downtrend right here is just as important and not that big of a deal. But you can see we've been using a big Elliott wave forming on Bitcoin for a very long time now. The A to B, you can see then the B to C. Then we were looking for completion of B to C. We actually didn't go as low as we anticipated. We thought 37K. A lot of analysts were saying 39K. We retested 39, immediately reversed out of that. Not that I was anticipating. And now we got right back up. The problem is, yes, we did see a very big run. This was beautiful. Don't get me wrong. And if you were able to leverage or just buy in, honestly, at 40,000, we went up about 22%, which is a very nice, pleasant run. Problem is, and what I've been trying to stress in the long-term view of things, is that this still is problematic. We are still, once again, creating lower highs. And I feel like some people are just blindly ignoring that, and they're going to get burned if you don't realize this. You can see lower highs are forming here, clear as day. Lower highs, lower high, lower high. So we are still in what is considered a symmetrical triangle here that at some point, once completed, which it still looks like it very well can be, we need to confirm the break in one of these directions here. So a lot of people might be saying, oh, we're extremely bullish. And yes, we could be, and we still are. I am bullish on this crypto. Long term, without a doubt, we are going to be retesting 100K, 92K. By the end of things here, you could even, if you wanted to, take the opening here, and it depends on where we break out. I'd ideally think we'd break out closer to the apex. I'd be shocked if we broke out a little bit earlier here. It would just be quite interesting. I want to explain why, but you take the mouth of the opening, which is about a 59% run. We just did it the opposite way, and this would honestly shoot us all the way up to very close to 89,000, if not close to $90,000, which would be an insane run. Now, what I'm looking at here is you can see this is clearly the downtrend. 1, 2, 3 confirmations of resistance. What we're looking for is closure, not necessarily above 50K, but a little bit higher, maybe like 50.5. This would basically confirm that we're breaking outside, and that's closing the daily here. Obviously, if we close a little higher, 51K, that'd be beautiful, but we have to close above this downtrend. This is a very vital and critical resistance level that can, react in one of two ways. Either we're going to see a big break to the upside here and shoot right up to 60K, or we're going to get immediately rejected off of this and start to correct back down, retest point somewhere at the bottom, downtrend, confirm in here, which would be ideal. This is ideally what I would look for. I would want to see the confirmation here, the completion, the closure of this downtrend, and then see a break. I'd be shocked if we broke out earlier. It's very possible that we can, but it was definitely a little bit earlier than I had anticipated and most people had anticipated. So it's really just comes down to that. So we have to just see, are we going to close? Because right now we're having some resistance, and all the cryptocurrencies are, and you'll see it in Cardano in a later video today. You can see Cardano or Bitcoin is also having problems with this resistance zone and starting to get rejected from here. It's expected, but if it can close above, then ideally it will break out. We will buy in long on Bitcoin using Bityard. We'll buy in long just like this. We'll buy in and we'll leverage to the upside here, or not a aggressive leverage unless you want to be in and out very quickly, but that's the ideal scenario with Bitcoin here. And then we'll just buy in long, but anticipate the possibilities of being rejected off of this today or tomorrow, just like here. This is what we have to pay attention to. This is very doable to see it again, and that's what we have to expect. Just if this closes below this resistance, we could easily see a flip tomorrow. Easily start a new candle tonight and start to dump, which will be a short opportunity for us, but will make more sense in the completion of this, major symmetrical triangle here. Otherwise, guys, S&P 500 still looks terrible. I'm waiting for some sort of bottom. We all are waiting for some sort of bottom here. Clearly, there is some sort of downtrend, but we are getting very close to becoming oversold. The downtrend is in play. We are retesting the daily moving averages here. That's the ideal point that I would hope we continue to stay at. I don't want to see us, drop to all-time lows, once again to the moving average here. The moving average is catching up with the top of this support level here, but this would be a big drop. Like from 4,300 to 3,700, it's going to take a very long time to consolidate, but I mean, it doesn't look like bad, but I feel like something really big would have to happen for us to do that. Last time we dropped that low, COVID happened. Last time we dropped that low, we saw like China bans trade or tariffs or whatever. That's usually what anticipates these major drops back down to bottom support levels. We have been slightly overextended here, so it might just be a minor correction here, but I mean, it takes a while for us to retest our moving averages. Like the last time we had it, this was 2020, then it was 2018, then it was all the way back in like 2016. So it's about a 2-year cycle here. This last retest was literally in 2020, and we haven't even been a year yet. So it'd be very interesting if we just shorted it all the way back down to 37.70. I think hopefully that would be at the bottom once again. We fall, we would probably retest this bottom support here and then climb out of it very quickly. That's the ideal scenario, but I'd like us to stay like this, but I am starting to anticipate a big drop. We do retest oversold fairly often, which would be a good buying opportunity here, but it seems like we're not going to be doing that just yet. So we'll see what happens. Otherwise, guys, I do want to talk about theCUBE. I want to give a huge shout out to theCUBE for sponsoring today's episode. As with all cryptocurrency projects, please do your own research and never invest anything you can't afford to lose. Now, many cryptocurrency platforms and dApps don't meet the requirements for safety, quality, and are unable to meet the needs of the community. And as you know, it's hard to find a one-stop shop that meets all your needs. Usually, you have to use a mix of different platforms and marketplaces, which could mean bouncing around between 5 different websites to find all your needs. Also, another common problem is that you need to track different blockchains when looking for a new gem to invest in, which means promising projects take place on BSC, Ethereum, Avalanche, and many other blockchain networks. So this really means that in this growing crypto community, users are lacking a platform where they can earn, exchange crypto, trade NFTs, analyze the market, and communicate with the global crypto community all in one place. So that is why Cube project was born. Cube is a single ecosystem aimed to support different blockchains and has multiple useful services and tools so you can keep calm and not bother yourself with switching between multiple different chains and projects. Cube is basically a place where everyone who is keen on cryptocurrencies and blockchains can find a place for themselves. So first things first, Cube is community-driven and multi-purposed. Within the Cube ecosystem, you can earn crypto using advanced DeFi tools, participate in token sales of promising blockchain projects, trade NFT arts, and also do networking in order to find like-minded people in the cryptocurrency community. Now, Cube token also serves as a utility token for the entire Cube crypto space. So you have things in the ecosystem like the Cube DEX, the Cube Launchpad, Cube NFT marketplaces, Cube social network, and now the Cube team even provides themselves with only 1.75% of the Genesis supply, while giving the community 69% of tokens for staking, liquidity incentives, and the ecosystem. So this means all the decision-making ability belongs to the community, which will decide on platform upgrades, changes, or integrations. Not to mention, Cube is united with a social network. After the upcoming release of the Cube Social, all the ecosystem members will be able to communicate with others in a single cryptocurrency community. For example, if you gather an NFT collection, Cube Social will be a nice place to show and tell about it. And also, if you prefer to stay anonymous, there's no problem with that, since your social profile will be connected with your NFTs purchased with MetaMask, and you don't have to connect anything from scratch, and there's no KYC. Also, consider this: there's guaranteed IDO allocation, and early supporters of Cube get amazing benefits from the first token offerings, which will take place on the Cube Launchpad. So for example, buyers of the Cube token in the equivalent of $500 USD will receive the priority right of 100% allocation in 3 of the first 5 IDO projects on the Cube Launchpad, and the drop of an exclusive collection of Cube's second-class NFTs. Moreover, guys, the Cube project aims to be a truly transparent ecosystem where there's no problem with giant reserve slots in the IDOs for the team, whales, investors, and so on. A community-driven approach helps the DeFi project deliver a truly DeFi principles of decentralization. Also, guys, don't miss the opportunity to be a part of the project's growth from the start by becoming an early token holder. It is also an opportunity to benefit from participation before their market launch via the IDO in November, since you will get exclusive NFTs from the limited collection from Cube and also get your slot secured in the first IDO project on the Cube Launchpad. You will be eligible to get 20 Cube tokens for free following the airdrop rules, which basically mean you just have to subscribe to their IDO whitelist. Whitelist participation in turn gives you priority allocation on Cube Launchpad depending on your purchased amount of tokens. Otherwise, huge shout out to theCUBE for sponsoring today's episode. Make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.